Imagine a secret world, a silent, subterranean empire, guarded by an army of thousands, each face unique, each warrior poised for battle. For over 2 millennia, this impossible sight lay buried, a testament to an emperor's ultimate power, waiting for the precise moment to reveal its awe-inspiring existence to humanity. What if everything you knew about the afterlife was a carefully crafted extension of your earthly reign, a complete replica of your power, designed to accompany you into eternity? This isn't a fantasy, it's the chilling reality of Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor, and the breathtaking terracotta legions he commanded even in death. Today, we're diving deep into the remarkable story of this hidden army, exploring its shocking discovery, the intricate artistry of its creation, and the enduring mysteries that still lie beneath the soil, waiting to be unearthed. The year was 1974. A group of humble farmers just outside the city of Xi'an in China's Shaanxi province were digging a well. They were looking for water, a simple, everyday task that had been performed countless times over centuries. But what their shovel struck was not earth or rock, but something hard, something utterly unexpected. A pottery shard, then another, and then the unmistakable silhouette of a human head, crafted from baked earth. They had stumbled upon the greatest archaeological find of the 20th century, a discovery that didn't just change the landscape of Chinese history, but rewrote the very understanding of ancient empires. What they unearthed, completely by accident, was the vanguard of an imperial bodyguard, an entire army frozen in clay, ready to serve its master in the spiritual realm. We call it the Terracotta Army, and it is a breathtaking collection of over 8,000 life-size terracotta sculptures, meticulously arranged in battle formation, complete with chariots, horses, and various military units. Each soldier is a masterpiece, a silent sentinel standing guard over the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the man who unified China and declared himself its first emperor over 2,000 years ago. This chance discovery ignited the world's imagination, pulling back a curtain on an era long past, offering an unparalleled window into the emperor's life, his beliefs, and the sheer, unbridled ambition of his reign. It was as if time itself had paused, preserving a moment of ancient grandeur just for us to find. Imagine commanding not just an army of men, but an army of art, each piece a unique individual crafted with a sculptor's devotion. The scale of the Terracotta Army is almost beyond comprehension. We're talking about more than 8,000 soldiers, not to mention 130 chariots pulled by 520 horses, and another 150 cavalry horses, all perfectly poised. Each one was meticulously crafted with one grand purpose: to protect Qin Shi Huang in the afterlife, ensuring his eternal dominion mirrored his earthly power. It's a vision of immortality on a scale that defies modern imagination. What truly sets this army apart, what makes it a living, breathing history book, is the astonishing level of detail. When you look at these figures, you don't see mass-produced replicas. You see individuals. Each soldier has a unique face, distinct features that suggest individual identities, even specific ethnicities within the empire. Their hairstyles vary, some with top knots, others braided. Their uniforms are distinct, reflecting different ranks and units: infantrymen, archers, cavalry, generals, even musicians and acrobats. It's not just a collection of statues, It's a comprehensive representation of the Qin army, a snapshot of its might and diversity, perfectly preserved. The level of craftsmanship involved is nothing short of astounding. Artisans poured their skill and dedication into every piece. The soldiers were not solid blocks of clay. Instead, they were created in sections: legs, torsos, arms, and heads, using molds, but then individually finished and assembled. It's like a complex puzzle, where each piece, once connected, becomes a unique person. Hands were formed separately and then attached, often holding real bronze weapons like spears, crossbows, and swords, many of which were still sharp after millennia underground. The attention to detail extends to the intricate folds in their armor, the expressions on their faces, some stern, some resolute, some almost serene. This wasn't just a job for these ancient artists. It was a profound act of devotion, a monumental effort to ensure their emperor's eternal protection. The construction of this immense underground city, complete with its silent guardians, wasn't a quick project. It began almost immediately after Qin Shi Huang ascended the throne in 246 BC, when he was just 13 years old. Think about that. A teenage emperor, already planning his eternal dominion. The work continued relentlessly for 36 years, right up until his death in 210 BC. This wasn't just a tomb. It was a lifelong project, consuming vast resources and human lives. To achieve such an astonishing feat, an army of laborers was needed, perhaps as many as 700,000 individuals, according to ancient texts. This wasn't a volunteer effort. The workforce included highly skilled artisans, masters of their craft who meticulously shaped and fired the clay. But it also consisted of massive numbers of conscripted workers, ordinary citizens forced into labor, and, quite possibly, enslaved people whose lives were utterly consumed by the emperor's grand vision. Imagine the sheer logistics: feeding, housing, and organizing hundreds of thousands of people for decades, all focused on building a kingdom for one man's afterlife. The soldiers themselves were primarily constructed using locally sourced clay, readily available in the region. Once shaped, often using a combination of molds for basic body parts and then hand sculpting for individual features, the figures were fired in massive kilns, a process that required immense amounts of fuel and controlled temperatures to ensure durability. But here's a detail that often gets overlooked, and it makes the army even more spectacular. These soldiers were not originally plain gray terracotta. They were vibrant, painted with an array of bright pigments. Traces of these vibrant blues, greens, reds, and yellows are still visible today on some figures, a ghostly reminder of their original grandeur. Imagine rows upon rows of colorful warriors, their faces painted with lifelike expressions, their armor gleaming with intricate patterns. The colors unfortunately faded quickly upon exposure to air after their discovery, but those fleeting glimpses told us just how much more magnificent this army once appeared. A dazzling spectacle even in the perpetual darkness of its underground home. The logistical challenge of this construction was mind-boggling. Not only were there the figures themselves, but also the underground pits, which are vast structures built to house the army. These pits involved digging enormous trenches, laying down foundations, building earthen walls, and constructing wooden roofs covered with layers of earth to conceal them from the world. It was an engineering marvel, a massive undertaking that rivaled the construction of the Great Wall itself in its sheer scale and human cost. As awe-inspiring as the terracotta army is, it's crucial to understand that it's just one part, albeit a monumental one, of an even grander complex. The Terracotta Army is essentially an outer guard, protecting the much larger and still largely unexcavated tomb mound of Qin Shi Huang himself. This central tomb, located about 1.5 miles away from the main army pits, remains one of history's greatest archaeological puzzles. The Emperor's Tomb Complex is believed to be a miniature replica of his entire empire. Ancient texts, specifically those by the historian Sima Qian, written about a century after the emperor's death, describe an unbelievably elaborate mausoleum. These accounts speak of palaces, pavilions, and gardens recreated underground. They mention rivers of mercury, mechanized crossbows set to fire at intruders, and constellations depicted on the ceiling with pearls. While these sound like fantastical tales, archaeological surveys using remote sensing technology have actually found unusually high concentrations of mercury within the tomb mound, lending credence to Sima Qian's claims. Imagine rivers of liquid silver flowing endlessly through the emperor's eternal dominion. The decision not to excavate the main tomb is a significant one. There are deep concerns about preservation. The very act of opening the tomb could destroy the delicate artifacts within, especially if they are as vulnerable to air and light as the Terracotta Army's original paint was. There are also potential hazards, such as the mercury mentioned in the historical records. So, for now, the Emperor's final resting place remains a sealed mystery, a monumental secret guarded not just by his terracotta soldiers, but by the cautious hands of modern archaeology. This unexcavated core is the ultimate open loop, a treasure trove of untold stories and historical revelations waiting beneath our feet. What else could possibly be hidden there? More artifacts, more insights into this pivotal figure of Chinese history, entire elements of his vision that we can only dream about today. It emphasizes Qin Shi Huang's profound desire to replicate his earthly life and all its trappings down to the minutest detail in the afterlife, ensuring his reign would be truly eternal. The Terracotta Army is far more than just a collection of ancient sculptures. It is a profound historical document written in clay. It offers us invaluable insights into the Qin dynasty's military organization, showing us the formations, the weaponry, and the hierarchy of an army that unified a warring nation. It reveals sophisticated artistic techniques and engineering prowess that were far advanced for their time. Beyond the military and art, it gives us glimpses into the societal structure of ancient China, the immense power of its emperors, and the beliefs surrounding death and the afterlife. It's a physical manifestation of a civilization's worldview, a silent epic told through thousands of faces. The discovery and ongoing study of the Terracotta Army have revolutionized our understanding of ancient China. It continues to inspire awe and wonder in millions of visitors each year, drawing them into a narrative of ambition, power, and artistic genius. It reminds us of the enduring legacy of powerful emperors and the extraordinary skill and devotion of the artisans and laborers who brought their visions to life. The story isn't over. Ongoing research and limited excavation efforts continue to peel back layers of earth and time, promising to unlock even more secrets. Each new shard, each newly uncovered figure, each scientific analysis brings us a step closer to fully understanding the man who built an empire for eternity and the silent army that still stands guard 2,000 years later beneath the earth. The biggest mysteries still lie hidden, patiently waiting for the day when humanity is ready to understand them. If you found this journey into ancient China as fascinating as we did, make sure to check out our next video right here for another incredible historical discovery.